we will. There we go. All right, welcome everybody. So tonight's virtual is all about our second bowl blade and lid and the uses and how, what good is it? How am I going to use it? Do I want one? All right. So what I actually did for this one is I actually searched in Cookie-Doo. You can tell it's been a while since I've been on the Thermomix on Cookie-Doo. I normally use my app or I open it in Chrome as a website because there's lots of stuff that you can do with Chrome. So I'm going to look at collections because I actually found there's actually a collection called Jewel something or other. No. More. No. Let me see what it was called. So it's the it's a whole actual collection for the using a second bowl. So it's actually in the collection from Canada called Dynamic Duo. So there's 15 recipes in there. To find recipes of that are not just from Australia, if you want recipes that are in English from around the world, you go into your settings up the top here and you go to preferences. And what you need to actually do is update your filter so that it has English and all countries. And that way, instead of just 3,000 recipes, you're going to have 10,000 recipes. So 3,000 is the Australian recipes, 10,000 plus, because there are recipes added every month. That's the English recipes, English language recipes in Cookie-Doo. You can also access all the other languages. And if you want to know about that later, let me know and I can show you. But what I've actually done, so I have actually put one of those recipes from the how's that? Can you hear me now? Yeah? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, good. I don't know why that happens. Oh, I know why that happens. Because I need to take off Bluetooth off my phone because my phone grabs my earbuds. All right. So with our recipes, I have taken a recipe from the Dynamic Duo collection, which is recipes that use both bowls. So we've got our ingredients here, our preparation, hints and tips, utensils. Now, I'm not sure if everybody knows, but hang on, later, got it. Let's put that other screen there. Why is that not capturing as well? Oh, I don't know why that's not. Hang on. Turn that around, turn it back. All right. All right, we're back on. God, everything's failing me this evening. Okay, so hopefully you can see my two screens. So there's me and I've also got the screen of the Thermomix. So we've got our recipe, prep time, total time, ingredients. Now, just updated, although this one isn't one of them. You can now change portion sizes. So if you have a dish that is for 4 people, you can now change it to 2 people or 6 people or whatever you'd like. So that's a fantastic new update to Cookie Do. I think it happened today. So if you have a TM6 and it asks for an update, that will be the update that you will get today or tomorrow. They because they spread it out across all the countries, it takes a few days for everyone to get their update. All right, so prep. Now, the other thing is, if you are doing a dish, say it's a flan where you have a base, a middle, and a topping, and all you want to do is make the topping, you can actually scroll down to the step. See how they highlight? You can actually scroll down to the step that you want, click on that step, and it will jump to it. So you don't actually have to go next in your recipe to get to where you want to be. So that's pretty cool. All right, start cooking. Place first bowl into position. Have done. Next. Place first bowl into position. Sesame seeds, cumin seeds. Oh, okay, yes, that's right. All right, so tablespoon of sesame seeds. And then a teaspoon of cumin seeds. Good thing I read that. I have a tablespoon here. So a teaspoon, but we want flavor. All right, next, without the measuring cup, what we're going to do is cook our seeds. So 3 minutes, 120, speed 1. It tells me to turn it to speed 1. And what we'll do is we'll watch it as the temperature, there we go, as the temperature goes up. Once the bowl gets to 37 degrees, it will actually show up above the 120. And then as the temperature goes up in the bowl, it will show it going up. Once it hits 60 degrees, just over 60 degrees, the lights turn red. So here we go, we're at 45 now. Oh, there we go. It's jumping straight up because there's not a lot in the bowl. So it heats up very quickly. So 85. 90. So don't forget though that not every recipe gets to the temperature that it wants. Some recipes you're building the temperature. So don't ever feel that you need to add temperature. Just trust the Thermomix that it knows what it's doing. There we go, 110 we are at. 115, so 120, so we've actually gone there. So I've actually chopped all my bits and pieces, ready to go. But right now we are making the sauce. Oh, it's Thursday. Normally Monday I have word issues, but today as well. So it's just counting down, 1 minute 25. So everyone tell me what version Thermomix that you have got in the chat, if you can find the chat. I know some of you have the 6. Yep, 6. Awesome. Cool. So have you been using the max heat function much? Made honeycomb yet? I actually need to redo. I did a Thursday virtual where I did honeycomb and lollipops. Unfortunately, I had a really bad cold that night. So all you can hear is, hang on a second, and I'm muted to cough up a lung. So I'll have to redo that virtual. Let me just get out. Oh. So we're going to use max heat tonight. So we're going to use you still did a great job that night. Oh my lordy, it was a shocker. But we did use all the stuff, so that was good. All right, so we're down to just a few seconds. Right. So next, so insert the measuring cup. Easy done. Then it's 5 seconds at speed 10 because we're going to mill our spices. So I'm not sure if you saw that, because it's over 60, the TM6 actually has a safety feature that if it's over 60 degrees, it will actually go slowly to the speed. So what we're going to do is I will show you. Oh God, that smells good. All right, I'll show you that. So with only 5 seconds and it going up slowly, it hasn't chopped as much as I thought it would. So I'm actually going to go back a step. And that's the beauty of following a recipe, is even though you are following a recipe, you are still in charge. So if you think something's not chopped enough, not cooked enough, not whatever you want it to be, you can go backwards, you can skip a step, you can go forwards. All right, so I'm going to go to 10 again. It's going to go slowly anyway as well, because it's over 60 degrees. That should be good. So transfer to a large bowl. I'm actually going to put it into a jug because I've read ahead on the recipe and I know what it wants. So I'm going to tip it in there. So it's just really just not milled it completely. All right, place bowl with ground spices onto the mixing bowl lid. There we go. So 140 grams of water. More. 135. And you'll spend half your life, because the TM6 is 1 gram increments, you'll spend half your life trying to get it exact. 155 grams of soy sauce, low sodium, which is actually just what I have. I normally just buy the Kikkoman in the big bottle. Because I make a lot of Asian foods, I have a lot of vinegars and dark soy and light soy and all that sort of stuff, which is actually kind of fun when you're trying out different recipes. So 150. So I went 5 grams over the last one, so I'll go 5 grams less. 85 grams of sugar. Oh, there we go. I'm probably going to put maybe half that in, because with sugar, less is always more. And it does say optional. And then a tablespoon and a half of cornstarch, because this is a Canadian recipe, which of course means corn flour. Now, if you're gluten-free, the corn flour, the nurse's one that we always, or if you have somebody in your family who is gluten-free, the nurse's one is actually not gluten-free. The Coles and Woolies and you have to look on the packet, but it's actually not corn. The nurse's one, Coles, Woolly and White Wings. Okay, so 1.5 tablespoons. There we go. Make sure excess moisture is removed from beef using a paper towel and set aside. So I've done that. Well, actually, hubby did that. Bless his heart. He chops meat for me when he's here. All right, I'm just going to stir our sauce. Get that in. 15 grams of sesame oil. I just use whatever's on the shelf. Now with pouring liquid in, always pull up before you actually get to the weight because there's still liquid pouring in. So 300 grams of beef tenderloin. So it's actually 600 gram recipe, but because we're actually going to brown it, we do it in batches because it's all about quality. And to get quality, we do things in batches. So, oops, 300 grams. Now, when I have beef, when I do beef recipes, I always like to buy the best quality that I can buy, just because you get a better result. Yet again, quality. Next, place a splash guard. So the TM6 has a splash guard because we're going to use max heat, which is our browning, and I'm just going to press done. Then we've got 7 minutes max, and these symbols there, that's our max heat. Whenever you've got symbols rather than a speed, it's a function or a mode. So all you need to do is turn our silver dial 1 click. You don't have to go all the way around. 1 click and away we go. So then what happens is it will stir for a bit, then it will stop and it will heat from the bottom. And that's how it browns. So it's actually stopped now. Not sure if you can hear that. And then it will heat from the bottom and it will start sizzling. Actually, I will turn off. All right. Can you hear that? So it's our sizzling. Off it goes. So it's already gone past 60 and it goes all the way around. So what I'm going to do while it's cooking for 6 minutes is I am going to share my screen. And we are going to have a look at Cookie Dough. Share. Okay, everyone can see Cookie Dough? Yep. All right. So, like I was saying before, I always open, so your app, your website, and your Thermomix are all connected in Cookie Dough, and they each have their place. So your app is great for doing everything on the run, putting things in collections, ordering from Woolworths, all that sort of stuff. It's really good. I open my Cookie Dough in Chrome because I know that Chrome will translate for me. If I want to look at a foreign language recipe, it will translate for me. Now, the other reason that you want to open Cookie Dough in a website is that this is where you'll actually redo your subscription, is here. You can't redo your subscription on the machine or in the app. You've got to do it in a website. And then also, go back to account. No, let's look at profile. So then this is what I was talking about before. You can actually choose your cooking style. You can change that at any time. That just gives you different, it'll show you different options and different suggestions for you to cook. And then the filter preferences. So I've got all Thermomix versions because TM6 can cook anything. I've actually got the blade cover and the cover and peeler. So if you don't have those, don't select them. Language, English, country or region, all. So that gives me, when I actually hit search, 10,283 recipes today. Who knows how many tomorrow, because every country adds collections and recipes all the time. Now, the other thing that we can look at is we can look at collections. So every recipe is in a collection. So whether it's a big cookbook collection or a little collection with 7 to 11 or 15 recipes. And then also here on our website, we've got articles. Now, when you actually choose these two, you actually get all the different languages. So I'm actually going to tick Australia for this one. So there's articles on fermentation, kettle, sous vide, babies, pasta, all sorts of stuff. So, and that's what they've done as well with all the new cookbooks, is they don't just have to put recipes in. Now that they, all the recipes are on Cookiedoo, they can actually add, so if you look at your TM6 basic cookbook, there's all sorts of other things in that book, such as sauces, risottos, making ice cream, all that sort of stuff. So there's lots and lots of information out there for whatever you want to look at. Let's go back to collections. I'm also going to, oh, bless me. Oh, pardon me. Okay, let's go Australia again. So these are the latest collections. There's actually, so the baby and toddler collection, if you've got any people in your lives that have new babies or toddlers, there's a baby and toddler collection, and there's also new baby food eating equipment in the mix shop now as well. This one's exciting, the less waste, more food. So there's all sorts of the new collections that we've got going. So let's go back to recipes. So I'm going to take off Australia because I want English. I want all of them. I am going to type in, I don't think it's 2 bowls. No, it was. So go back to collections. I'm going to go down to Canada. It's all right, you don't have to. My daughter's just arrived home from training. Okay, so dynamic duo. There we go. This is where I got the recipe from. So this is specifically for a second bowl. Now, the Japanese souffle pancakes, they're on my list, and so is the twice baked cheese souffles. The chicken with cream spinach is beautiful. And there's some other interesting ones as well. And then macarons, which are awesome. All right. Now, on the main page, you've got the same main page on your app, your website, and on the Thermomix. So here's this new one, Perfect Serving My Thermomix My Way. Actually, let us have a look at some recipes that might have that. So most cooked you'll find, it's actually pretty funny, on a Monday in the most cooked you'll find cocktails, because people have been cooking cocktails on the weekend. But then of course today's Thursday, so by the time you get to Thursday, we're back to normal food again. All right, so let's check this out. Transfer to a bowl, set aside and keep warm. Oh, look at that, perfectly cooked. Lovely. I'm actually going to put it in a thermo server. I've got my oval one out. There we go. There we go. Next, 15 grams of sesame oil, because we're going to cook again. Let me just pop the lid on that. So that looks beautiful. So please let me know if you've got any questions. Scroll down. Yep. Cool. And then next, so then there's the rest of our beef. So what you want to do as well when you're doing max heat is you want to spread it around so that it's well positioned around the bowl. Next, place our splash guard on again. Done. So 7 minutes, 1 click, and away we go. All right, is there anything in particular you would like me to, all right, let's go back to Chrome, to look at? So blade cover and peel, oh, that's right. We were looking for recipes that might have a change. Oh, here we go. So if you can see that, once you've updated and you open a recipe, so of course it's not all the recipes straight away, because 80,000 recipes, that's a lot of recipes to do it. So there is, I don't know, there's like 50 or 60 recipes already in Australia that have been updated so that you can change the portions. So let's click on that. Oh, not available for this recipe. Okay, let's have a look. Let's go back. 3 cheese. Let's have a look at this one. So 4 portions, not available. Yeah, what was I cooking the other day? Broccoli and 3 cheese. No, God, it's got to be something. Hang on. Risotto. Aha, here we go, found one. So if you've got a small household, so obviously not every recipe is going to be able to be doubled because of the size of the bowl. Very important that we don't go over the max. Rule of thumb, respect the max. But sometimes you can reduce the portions, which is great for smaller families. So I'm going to click on 2, and the serving size has been changed. So let's have a look. 50 grams of Parmesan, 1 garlic clove, blah, blah, blah. Let's go back to 4. Yep, 100 grams of Parmesan, 150 grams of leeks, all that sort of stuff. So that's the exciting next installment for Cookie Do, which is changing our serving sizes, which is fantastic. So you've also got videos, You and Baby, there's a whole stack of information on the Thermomix website about that. So strawberry recipes, they're nice, the strawberry and cream bites. Does anybody have any questions? So access modes. All right. Oh, excellent. So when you, so created recipes, let me show you some of those, my recipes. So I actually have a stack of collections that I've created, cooking classes, Facebook, all sorts of stuff. But up the top here, we have created recipes. So you can either bring over recipes from recipecommunity.com.au, but only that website. You can't bring them over from any other website. Or you can actually, so I actually, this creamy tomato and salami fettuccine, I've brought that over from within Cookie Do, because we actually use bacon instead of salami and I use light Philly instead of cream. So I'm going to adjust that within the recipe itself. And then the sweet potato gnocchi, I actually changed the portion. And when I changed the portion on my app, it moved into created recipes. And same with the ricotta. It changed over to created recipes. And then I can just press cook today. You could probably see, so if I'm meal planning for the week, I've actually got this picture, I love leftovers, which actually has no recipe there, but I can plonk that in to my meal planning so that I know that that's what I'm going to have. We're going to have enough for leftovers the next day. What else? So at the moment, there's only 100 created recipes that you can do. but it's quite a process to do it. So when you've actually brought over, let me show you the gossamer that I brought over. See how it's actually in a big chunk? To do it properly, I need to have it show up on the Thermomix screen itself. I need to break it down into all of the steps, you know, add 30 grams of oil, add 200 grams of silver beet, all that sort of stuff. But on a laptop, it actually doesn't take as long as you think. But I can do a virtual and put it on YouTube with doing threaded recipes and changing recipes as well. I have already got one on YouTube, but as always with Cookie-Doo updating, I like to update all the new things that we can do with it. Okay. Stop share. Oh, any collections, Christmas gifts? Yes, there is. Let me just share again for a second. I couldn't see so Christmas. So let's change to collections. All right, Christmas, vegan and vegetarian, Christmas with Thermomix, Christmas gifts, Christmas dinner, Christmas around the world, savory Christmas, sweet Christmas, gluten-free Christmas. So basically stacks of Christmas. And we're getting up to that point. So that is pretty cool. There's already a lot of stuff out there, and I'm sure next month there'll be another bunch of collections coming out as well. I'm pretty sure. Okay, so nearly done. Next. All right. Transfer the second lot of beef. Same as the first. Lovely and brown. So I can highly recommend as well, if you're going to brown, just get this other spatula. If you're going to brown onions, there's an amazing recipe. If you caramelize your onions in the recipe community, French onion dip, Kiwi style, highly recommend. Now with our caramelization on the bottom, we're not going to worry too much about that, because with cooking the sauce, it's actually going to come off. And if it doesn't come off, bicarb soda, a little bit of water, make it into a paste, use a scrubby to get it off, 10, 15 seconds. Takes nothing. All right. So another 15 grams of sesame oil. Now, does everybody have thermosovers and know what they do? So that's an oval one. You've got round ones that keeps your food hot for 2 hours, or it keeps it cold. Oh, there's a little one with my daughter's dinner. She gets vegetarian pad thai tonight. Okay. So there's all sorts of different sizes of them. My friend puts ice in theirs in summer and takes it outside for their drinks, so they don't have to come back in. All right, 2 garlic cloves peeled, which of course garlic in my love language means 3 or 4 cloves peeled. 3 centimeters of ginger, oops, peeled. It's a measuring cup. So 4 seconds, speed 5. Now that's still on 85 degrees, so it's going to go slow. I'm actually just going to take that out for a second. It's probably not going to cool down too much. But we'll see. No, still, oh, 70. All right, let's take that out for a second, because remember the safety feature? It's not such a big deal. There we go, still 70. That's all right. Speed 5. It'll take a second to start up. And now we'll chop. right, scrape down the sides. I'll just show you. Okay, not too bad. I am actually going to go back and do that again. And of course, it's not such a big deal. It's 4 seconds. And we want a quality result. So I'm going to go back. Speed 5, 4 seconds. There we go. And then next, scrape down the sides. Now, I'm not sure if you saw when we did each step that you can actually preview now the next steps. So there's our chopping. I'll show you in a minute. So 60 grams of green onions chopped into 5 centimeter pieces. I'm not doing 5 centimeter pieces. I love mine lovely and thin. And I just did 41 grams, so close enough. 140 grams of red bell peppers, which of course means capsicums. 141. 100 grams of carrots. 106. All right, then we'll put our splash guard on again. There we go. I'm just going to scrape down. So I always scrape around the bowl, wipe it on the side, and then tap it lightly on the inside. I find that if you scrape around the bowl rather than down, you actually get more bang for your buck. So done. So 4 minutes 30. There we go. Now with the preview, I said I'd show you. So we're on step 32 out of 50. So I'm going to have a look. It says add reserved sauce. Without the measuring cup, another 5 minutes. Then the sauteed beef, mix well, set aside and keep warm. And then we do our second bowl, which we will do our noodles in. So then, see, I can go straight back to, let me show you that. I'm on step 32 now, so I can just pop back to 32. Now, other things that you can do whilst you're in a recipe, you can preview and go next, or you can open the preview, look at the recipe details so we can go back. If you wanted to go and have a look at the hints and the tips, you can come back to recipe detail. For a vegetarian dish, omit the beef. Okay, not as exciting as others, but we can still see the time and how the function there. And then also, depending on what you're doing, you can actually pop the scales on, but the function's not allowed at max heat, obviously. Now, the other thing that you can do is you can come out of the recipe and see how it's got our little bookmark there. So if by chance you had to swap over the bowl and do something else, you're like, oh my God, I forgot to do the almond meal, you can swap it over. And there we go. One more second. I am just going to ask somebody something. I printed out all these ideas that you could do with a spare bowl, blade and lid, and I left it upstairs. So I've just asked someone to go and get it for me. Not on the printer. Okay. Slaves are hard to find. Okay, so we've got 2 minutes left, even if you feed them. Okay, any questions so far? Anyone? No? Cool. All right. So we have our second bowl here. I've actually got the water and the sesame oil in here preheated for our noodles. But I did want to talk all because I promised you that I would talk about spare bowls. So I actually have, I'm very lucky as a team leader. I have purchased one Thermomix, earned one Thermomix. So I have 2 Thermomixes and I have 3 bowls. So basically whatever Thermomix is free and whichever bowl is not in the dishwasher is what we use. I find them that handy. So things that I've written down or got off the internet, you can use one for sweet and one for savory. You can use one for food and one for cleaning and body products. I'm not sure if any of you make body products or anything. So less washing up between dishes. So if you've got something, especially things like when I make pavlova, I pre-wash one of my bowls. The handy hints for pavlova is 3 cups of water, 1 cup of vinegar, 10 minutes, Varema, speed 3 with the butterfly in, because you want it to deeply clean the butterfly and the bowl. And then I pour that out and let it air dry. Don't want to get the towel in there and make any more anything on it. All right, so next, add our reserved sauce. Let me grab that out. That looks pretty good. So of course, a stir fry wasn't something we were able to do with our previous models. I am just going to stir it around. There we go. So next, without the measuring cup. So 5 minutes, 120, reverse. All right, okay. So, yep, give a bowl a quick rinse, chuck it on the sideboard, use the next bowl. When you realize, like I said, partway through a dish that you've gotten to do something else, you can just swap them, grate cheese, chop something, mill some sugar, whatever you like. If you've ever discovered halfway through a recipe that you're missing an ingredient, such as coconut milk, curry powder, garam masala, rice flour, making rice flour for your shortbread biscuits, no worries, second bowl. You don't have to tip anything out of the first bowl, wipe it out and try and do the next step. Lasagna tomato sauce in one bowl, bechamel in the other. Double the space when you're feeding a crowd. Cook one dish, store in the thermoserver, cook a second portion. Some dishes, require you to grate or mill an ingredient as the first step, then thoroughly wash and dry the bowl. That's pain in the bum. Cook the main dish in one and side or dessert in the second. You've got a spare one if something happens to the first bowl. Cook-up days become faster if you do cook-up days. Breakfast, whip up porridge in one and a green smoothie in the other. Now, everybody knows, though, that your bowl blade and lid can go in the dishwasher. Just pull it apart, throw it in the dishwasher. You don't need to be super gentle with it. Allergies. So especially if you have allergies in your family, separate bowls. Now, one way of tagging bowls, or if you need to keep thermoserver separate or something like that, nail polish. Put a little dot of nail polish on each piece of the one that you want to keep separate from the others. That's very handy. We do that as consultants when we go to a cooking class and everybody brings their machines and their bowls. You know, one person has red dots, one person has green, one person has purple, and we can just put all our stuff back together at the end. Reduce time when you're cooking so that you don't have to wash it out and dry it and come back and do the next step. And if you're thinking about becoming a consultant, you can keep one nice and sparkly clean for demos. You can, what else? Whole food ingredients in a second, Sunday cook-ups, cooking for allergies. Yep, meal prepping, yep. Pre-dinner cocktails. So if you have cocktails ready and you can pour with the cocktails while you're cooking the other dish. Does anyone have any other ideas of things that you can do with a second bowl, or that you've, sorry? Oh yes, the new chopper. But the new chopper will keep your bowl clean. Yes, enough for the peanut gallery over in the corner there. Has everyone actually heard about the new cutter? It will slice in 2 sizes and shred in 2 sizes. It's going to be a host reward first for the first 2 months of next year, depending on international shipping. So make sure that you book in with me or your consultant so that you don't miss out, because it's a long time to wait for a seriously amazeballs thing. On my YouTube channel, I've got a video of just how fast it is. 1 carrot, about 2 seconds. Enough potatoes for potato bake, about 1.5 minutes. It's fantastic. It's something we've all been waiting for a long time. All right, nearly there. Thirty seconds. How's everybody going? Good. Cool. Now, don't forget that at the moment, if you know anybody who doesn't have a TM6 and would like to buy one, there's a $29 bowl blade and lid special. This is only the second time that they've offered the $29 spare bowl blade and lid. So if you know anybody, please refer them to me or to your consultant. And we don't want anyone to miss out because they didn't know. All right, next, add our reserved sauteed beef. Let me just, it's looking good. So this would be a good dish that you can have as well once it gets updated. And that's what happens. Recipes are updated all the time, and you'll see some recipes say recipes updated, but it could just be that they've added a video to it, because some of our steps actually have videos. It could be that they've just updated some spelling. It's not that they've necessarily completely changed the recipe. Mix well with the spatula to combine. And then to decide. Awesome. So then I'm saving myself time. Place the second bowl in position. 1220 of water, done that. Tablespoon of sesame oil, done that. Simmering basket instead of measuring cup. I'm not going to do that because I'm just going to boil it. Turn speed select to start. It's already at 55 degrees. Oh, sorry, Sue. See ya. Oh, she'll watch the rest on YouTube. No worries. So what I'm going to do, feel free to pop out if you need to. I'm just going to put the noodles on, which is our next bit. And what else? Oh, yes. Also, the most amazing thing, join our team. Not only could you get the spare bowl blade and lid for $29, you could actually earn the Thermomix for about half price. All you need to do is join our team before December, or start of December. Sell 4 Thermomixes in 60 days. Normally it's 6 Thermomixes. When they first started, it was 10. So 4 is is an amazing deal. And then you've earned your Thermomix. And then keep going with our business, which is fab. All right, so we're nearly there. How's everyone going? Oh, a couple of people had to go. That's all right. No problem. So hopefully I've given you a couple of ideas of things that you can use the 2 bowls for. Another one you can do is prove your bread dough. So if you don't actually have a mat or a thermo server to prove your bread dough in, you could just prove it in the bowl and mix up your fillings or pizza toppings in the other one. That's a good hint. So it's getting there. How are we all going? Good. All right. What else can I show you? Yes. Oh, yeah. If you're upgrading from a 5 to a 6, yes, you get the deal. And if you know anybody with a TM31 still in their cupboards, they can actually get a bit of a trade-in on their 31 from Thermomix. It's about a $360 trade-in, especially if their 31's worse for wear. And so that's a great deal as well. Just contact me for that. All right, once it gets to there, I am going to do egg noodles tonight. It actually says ramen noodles, but I can do what I like. There's also these ones. Oh, excellent, Jody. Sweet potato noodles, I highly recommend them. They are fantastic with Korean dishes. I just got them in the local Asian shop, and they are beautiful, really beautiful. So I thought I'd go with egg noodles tonight. It's thinking about coming up to a boil. All right, let's pretend that it has. Don't want you to have to sit here all night. All right. Next, 255 of ramen noodles, but noodles are noodles the same as rice. You don't have to have, if you're going to do, you don't have to reduce the cooking time if you're going to do less or more. So without the measuring cup, I am just going to, so it says time indicated on the package, which was about 6 minutes. So I'll just show you what I'm doing. And that. And then I will put a picture in, I'll put a picture in the Facebook group and show you how it all looks. Let me just show you again. This is the good part. That is going to be absolutely delicious. So I would sprinkle that with toasted sesame seeds, not just sesame seeds, but toasted. I've got white and black ones. They're yummy. Oh, my willing assistant is getting those for me. As you can tell, I like the black ones more than the white ones. So they're fantastic to put on top. There's probably enough spring onion on there, but if there's anything else you'd like to put on top, not a problem. Alrighty. Does anyone have any further questions that they'd like to ask, or anything that I've not covered that you're wondering about? Otherwise, I've probably taken enough of your time. Thank you, Jody, for being a host this evening. Don't forget that if you have 2 friends come along to our virtuals, you can get host rewards. All you guys need to do is sit there and Yes, your team 6 came with a splash guard. All you need to do is sit there and your 2 friends and you get host rewards. Just let me know that you've invited the 2 friends along. Yes, Wendy, you've definitely got a splash guard. That's what it looks like. It should be in there somewhere. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming along. I shall set you free. And have a look out for the pictures tomorrow. All right. Thanks very much for coming along, everyone. Yes. Thank you. Good night, everyone. Have a good one. Have a good sleep, everyone.